Hey, good morning. This is Bob Miller. Bob Miller Success. I'm here at Fiesta Island, my favorite space here. Andy DeGrew of Fiesta Island is behind me. And today is day 276, where I practice gratitude and success by naming at least one person every single day. You know the drill. Who I'm grateful for. And sometimes there's a few people. Sometimes there's a lot. And sometimes things happen that changes things. Like yesterday, for instance, I posted a picture of my granddaughter who's 13. No, she's tomorrow she'll be 3 weeks old tomorrow. But little Molly made amazing. I was going to thank the people who commented on that. It's such a cool thing to do. I appreciate so much people that reach out and say, wow, your granddaughter is this. And it makes me feel, as a grandfather, I feel so wonderful. But then last night things changed. I was watching a show online that I watch every single Friday night. It's called Friday Night Live with Jackson and Christy Kelly. And it's just a really fun show. If you ever, if you want more information, if you don't know about it, you should check it out. It comes out at 6 o'clock Pacific time, 9 o'clock Eastern time. And they usually bring out a guest that's in the home-based business arena. And they just ask them questions, and it's fun. It's just a really cool show. You should come on, or come on. I'm on it usually every single Friday night. Great friends of mine. But last night they had a really amazing friend, Angel Belichowski. Angel is just an incredible woman that went through a real lot of stuff, but she's actually a lot of co-hosts. She acts as a co-host a lot of times now to Doug Fireball, who's an incredible guy, and he's a good friend of Jackson and Christy Kelly. Okay, make a long story short, I'm watching that show last night. She was a guest host last night, and I received a little message on Facebook from Len Mooney, who was, people who've been following these things know that he was here for almost 2 weeks, and he had his hip replaced. And Len lives down in Mexico, about maybe 60 miles down past the border or whatever, however far that is. But I've never been there. And he said, call me. I was about to write back and say, hey Len, I'm watching this live show, which is interactive. You can chat and things like that. And I was almost like, Len, I'm watching Friday Night Live. You should be doing it too. But then something compelled me to call, so I called him on the phone, and he was like very. You could hear the distress in his voice. Len, his hip came out of place, and he was very confused and very not in a really good place, not a good place to be. So he needed to get a ride up to here. He has his insurance is with Kaiser Permanente here in San Diego, and down in Mexico they have facilities, but they need cash right off the bat. So you have to pay them money right off the bat. So he needed a ride, and he couldn't find anybody. So he was happy that he was at least talking to me on the phone. So I guess it turned out. I mean, I was ready to drive down there, which he said he doesn't even want to fit into my car, and whatever. So make a long story short, he was able to get to Kaiser Permanente. He's there. Everything's safe. Len is safe. He had his hip pushed back in place, and probably be at my house later on today. So we'll have round 2 of Len Mooney. But I want to say really say thank you to all the people who I asked for prayers, and a lot of people prayed in the Friday Night Live show. Jackson and Christy Kelly and Angel Belichowski actually stopped their show and prayed for help. It's touching to me that people do that. Sorry for the emotional outburst here, but there's so many people who are just so wonderful in my life, and I want to name some of the people who prayed, who posted on my Facebook wall, who concerned about Len. So here are the people, and I know there'll be more later on too. Stacy Coviello, Barbara Bugman, Cindy Berry, Craig, Rena Barnes, Barb Goldberg, Mary Martin Langreader, Stephanie Harris, Larry Bryan, Lori Jadori Phillips. Lori heard me yesterday. They too upset. I want to laugh, but Lori, I'll send a prayer out for Lori because she blew her knee out yesterday, so she could use some prayers as well. Great friend of mine, Lori. Lori is Diane Hogman, Judy Carver Meyer, Kathy Dennison, Nicole Harris, Jacqueline Sue, Leo Sullivan Cost, Norma
the Norma Esmeralda Acosta, Christine Schmidt, Joe and Chris Dyer. It's hard for me to read my writing. Jeanette Rodriguez, Kathy Olson Crandall, Mary Ann Humphreys McColgan. That's some people that reached out. Yes, I know there's many more. They just didn't get the message. But thank you so much, everybody. And it's so wonderful to be surrounded by so many loving people in this world. So, who are you grateful for today? I'll see you tomorrow on day 277. Bye-bye.